Last time on Farmhouse Adventures, you watched me open up this wall and expose the old chimney in the dining room so that we could get ready to install the wood stove. But this week I need to finish the work on the kitchen side. I need to tear out this half brick wall, and also I want to remove this faux brick chimney. It extends into the room about 14 inches and just, it's kind of a waste of space for our purposes. There's also an old crock up here where there used to be a wood stove going into the chimney, so that needs to be removed and capped because the wood stove is going to go in from the other side. I also put plastic up this time all around because last time I made a bit of a mess. That dust gets everywhere. So I basically wrapped the room in plastic so we can try to contain the mess as much as possible. So I've got my work ahead of me for today, so stick around. Here's a close-up of that fake brick. It's called Mr. Brick was the brand, and it looks really impressive. I do like it a lot, but it's just not needed for what we're doing. So we're gonna tear this off. It's got drywall and then the brick is stuck to it. So I'm gonna try and just pull off chunks of drywall with the fake brick attached. I think it's gonna just crack apart when I do that, and take out this framing on this side, and that will give me the exposure I need from this side. And then this brick wall is going to come out. Again, this is real brick, so I kind of feel bad to do it because this is an old part of the house, but again, it serves no purpose at all. It's also not too structurally sound. You can see if I shake it, it moves a bit. And again, it's just a lot of weight. It's bulky, and we're thinking we're going to put the doorway through here into the dining room. So I need to get that out of there. So far, most of the work has been done with a hammer and a flat bar, probably the two most used tools in any kind of demo, at least for me. So I'm just going to get behind this drywall and start to pull it off and see what happens. You have visions of it coming off in nice big chunks, but the fact is, it usually starts off coming off in really small pieces. And that's what makes such a mess. Oh boy. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, there's some more Mr. Jingles habitat. Okay, so that's a pretty complete demo. Just a couple little pieces of wood left to take down, but otherwise we've got that all cleared out. But a couple things here. One thing of concern, that is this old crock coming through. This is homemade, obviously. It's got a plywood box filled with concrete. How much do you think that is? 100 pounds? I'm concerned about getting that off of there. I'm not even sure what's holding it in right now, but I'm concerned that that's going to be really heavy. I may have to try and break it apart with a sledgehammer. So here's the top of that. I'm calling it a crock. I don't know if that's the right word for it or not, but it's the extension that went from here to the back of the chimney. And here we can see April 18th, 1987, because GPL and LRL, these two lovebirds, they put their name in concrete all the time. Now, I don't know what the W/PS means. I'll have to ask them that. But there they are. And even if we look down here at this little wall, there they are again. They did this a year earlier, April of '86, and that was April of '87. Now here's something fun that dates way back. I love seeing this behind the wall. These notches for the post and beam when they were put together. And it's not just 3 notches here and 3 notches here. There's a notch with an angled shape there, and then you see the same thing here, the notch with the angled shape. And I'm sure that has to do with, I would imagine, the direction or what wall that's for. Over here, we've got 2 notches, but it's got the angle as well, and there's another one there. So that's really neat to think that that was done by hand, and this whole structure was built that way. And just to be clear, this wall is probably original to the 1800s, maybe early 1900s. So what we see up here is this concrete cap that they put on top of the wall in 1986. But the wall is not from 1986. The wall is probably 100 years older than that. So I didn't want you to think that the wall is only from 1986. Anne has the most important job. It's amazing that
yes, it is.
Demo is so much messier than you think. Like, even if you think, I'm just going to take down this wall real quick and just, you know, take it down piece by piece, it's just a terrible mess. So, you're doing a good job, Anne.
Happy to be here for you, dear.
Well, let me take the plywood framing off, and we can at least see what's behind there. If it's solid concrete, then I'll probably try and just break it off in pieces with a little sledge. But let's see if we can see what's back here first. Oh, that's going off pretty easy. Looks like solid concrete. I'm going to get a little sledge and start chipping away at it. Did I say mini sledge? That's the way. Got it. Got it. Well, now it's time to see if we can start to break down this brick wall. We'll start with this cap, which is like a 5" by 5" piece of concrete. Oh. It's coming. What if we just give it a good whack? What if we do that? Okay. Well, the old brick wall is gone. We've cleaned up a little bit, and now we are getting closer and closer to the actual installation. Next steps for me is going to be to try and remove this plaster or parging from the chimney and expose the bricks. And I'm just going to take my little bar and hammer and chisel it out, break it out. Hopefully it'll come off. I've done a few pieces where it's come off in chunks, so that is something that should be pretty easy to do. And then we should be ready to move on to the hearth project, which is not going to be as intense as I had once thought it would be. Now, originally I was told that a hearth had to be 4 inches thick, but come to find out it depends on the stove that you buy. The stove that we bought only requires ember protection. In fact, the salesperson told me that some people just use a piece of tempered glass under the stove. I'm not going to be doing that. We are going to put a hearth, either brick or tile, but it's not going to be 4 inches thick. We've also changed our mind once again. Now the idea is to put the stove right in the middle, right in front of the chimney, so the stove will be centrally located in the room, and I think we're going to stick with that plan. So hopefully on the next video, I'll be cutting out the floor. We've got 2 layers of 3/4 inch flooring here. You've got the original 3/4 inch flooring, and then they added more flooring years and years ago. So I'm going to cut out the first layer, or maybe it will be the second layer, the top layer, to give myself a 3/4 inch recess. Then I'll put some cement board down and some tiles or thin brick. That's going to be my plan for the hearth. So thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. If you enjoy the content, please give it a thumbs up. If you've not yet subscribed to the channel, I invite you to join us. And I look forward to seeing you next time.